Hello, good people of the world. It's Neil Smith, your dandy DJ. And, you may have seen my video on the tabletop for the rock and roller cart. Well, some of you may also know that I have a second rock and roller cart, and I have no tabletop for that. And there's a guy getting rid of some wire shelving. This new tabletop I'm making, it's not a heavy duty need. This is more for things like a prop table for a photo booth, or let's say it'll become my table at a wedding ceremony, something like that. So where I have a somewhat light duty need. So I don't really need to make it as heavy duty as the other one, but I might. So right now, I picked up some of this. It was being given away for free. Somebody on Facebook was getting rid of it. My old one is like a couple feet deep. This one was not. They're much shorter, and it's not enough workspace. But he gave me a lot of it. So what I'm doing is I'm putting a couple of them together. And for right now, I'm zip tying them, and that actually seems to really solidified it nicely. I don't know if I'm going to need reinforcement or not. I will see. I'll probably reinforce it just to be on the safe side, because when I'm rolling into places, I like to stack things up on top of my tabletop, and that way I don't have to make extra trips. So I'm going to keep zip tying these guys together, and then I'll probably come in. I'll see how sturdy it is, but I'll probably go to the hardware store, get some more steel conduit, and frame it out like I did my last one to make sure that it's nice and totally sturdy and not going anywhere. And then I'm going to have to figure out, my challenge is going to be figuring out what to do about this lip. I'll put some kind of tabletop on it, but I'm going to have to put an extra layer of something on this side so to make it level once I put the covering over it. And I have no idea what I'm going to use for a covering. I do want it to be a little nicer than the last one I made. Heck, you know what? This one might even become the new main tabletop, and then that one will be relegated to, other needs. But we're going to see how it goes. I'm just starting this project, and I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants here in the Dandy DJ Laboratories. I'm going to keep zip tying these guys together in the middle, and then I'll see what I got. Stay tuned. Okay, so now I've got zip ties to hold it in place, and I've got them in the middle and on the ends there. And it's sturdy. It'll take some stuff, but I'm still not quite satisfied with the sturdiness of it. So it's going to be off to the hardware store to get some steel conduit, which is only like $5. Oh, and here's what I'm talking about for steel conduit. This is the stuff I purchased for my last build. I don't remember where I got this, but it's 1/2-inch EMT. Stuff very strong. And, I made sure before I bought it, I tried to bend it with my arms and stuff in the store, and I could not bend this stuff. Dirt cheap, and drill through it and build through it. So good choice here. This is what I'm going to be going out and getting more of. This is just a piece left over from building the other tabletop. All right, and here we are. We're at Home Creepo here, and hey, 5-foot length here is $2.19, and I need 3 of them. So, and here's what we're looking for right here. It's in the electrical section. $2.19 a length for 5 feet. Actually, this is more like 6 feet. This thing's no, it's 5 foot. Okay, I'm gonna grab 3 of these, and I'm out the door for under $10. Okay, I'm back from the hardware store, and I've got the ends all trimmed up here, all hacksawed into place. I'll worry about I am a little concerned about this with no support right here. That will eventually get bent, so I'll figure out what's going on there. Maybe a crossbar will tighten down nicely on that. So here I've got my conduit. Since this already has an edge to it, I'm figuring the ends are pretty well sturdy. So for right now, I'm not going to worry about shoring that up, but I'm going to place a bar of conduit there on this side of that ridge, and then a bar of conduit right there. And I'm just going to, like that, and then I will cut the excess and even it up. And we'll take it from there. Okay, I have my 4 crossbars cut. Okay, well, I have all my pilot holes drilled with the teeny tiny drill bit. And I did break a drill bit in the process. Uh, but that's why I got a little package of 2 of them. And now I'm starting to drill the other larger holes here. You can see I started with this one and it goes through, and I have to come back and clean that up with a file. Okay, I now have all the holes drilled that I need. No, starting with the pilot hole and coming back with the larger bit. I believe this is a quarter inch drill bit, maybe slightly larger. And this right here, well, it's the only file I own. I think I found it years ago on the side of the road somewhere, and it was bent up. But you know what? It does the job when I need to file something. So I'm just gonna, get in here. As you can see, those ugly little burrs, if it'll focus right. I'm just gonna get in there and I'm just gonna and clean it right up. Okay, I've got all my holes filed and free of burrs, anything sharp. I've also come and I've filed the ends, or the ends where I've cut off, just to make sure there's no sharp ends there, because those will stay there unless I put some end caps on them, which I may do. I don't know. And I'm ready to start putting it all together now, shall we? Okay, so I did notice one mistake I made. If you notice on my last build, and yeah, I need to clean that up, but if you notice the pipe where this is the part that's going to set down onto the edge of the table right here. This is my old one right here, and the bar is set in from that, and then that lays across the crossbars. I don't know if you can see it. It lays across the crossbars for support, and then this other bar right here is to the side of it. But up here, I drilled the hole to where the bar that goes across horizontally would be all the way at the end. So I need to ignore that hole and I need to drill up here. So, for small mistake, not a big deal. So I'll drill a new hole over there. I'll measure it out and clean those up. Big deal. Hey, it happens. And now we start putting it all together. Let's see, get that in there. You see, washers, bolts, and just gently and loosely to start with. We're not tightening anything down. Just finger tight. Get it in there. I've already had to take my drill here and kind of widen the hole a little bit to get it through. So just start putting everything together loosely, and once the crossbars and everything are there, then we can tighten it down. All right, so here we are. Everything is loosely put together. And yeah, don't worry about that right now. See how that space right there? On my last build, I had a bar across here, but this is pretty steady. So I'm gonna get maybe some like big rubber bushing or something for right there. And that's what that hole's for. So we're not gonna worry about that right now. We'll come back to that. So, but now time to tighten this stuff down. Okay. And there we are. The crossbars are all tightened down. And that thing is solid as a freaking rock. But I do want to put bushings or something to, get that all secured up right over here. Okay, here we are looking at the pipe insulation. We've got different widths and everything. And this is a black, but you don't really need that because we're going to tape wrap it anyway. This is a really good length right here. It's $1.67 each, about right. But you know what? This is only $1.46 each, and it's going to be about right too. You get a whole lot more than you actually need. $1.50. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, I started cutting up my foam insulation. I cut it in half, just enough to lay across those 2 pipes. Then I cut for support underneath. I cut another one in half, and then that's laying down there. So it's going to go like that and lay in there real nicely. So I'm going to get out the tape. I'm going to put these 2 pieces together like so, and I'm going to tape the dickens out of that. And then it's going to go right there and just bolt right into place. And here we go. That's one of them taped up. You know, it is what it is. This is just some stage tape from Guitar Center. Uh, Stuff that I buy in the winter months so I can save money over gaff tape. I just get the stage tape.
It looks like a two-sided bus.
Yeah. So anyway, then that just fits down in there. You see that part fits between those two poles, and boom. So we'll drill a hole through that and put it in place. And then I'm going to do one on the other end over there, exactly the same. All right. I have one of the carriage bolts through. This is a 5/16. I was trying to get 1/4 inch, but they didn't have, well, they had 1/4 inch. I had to stack it up because it's a carriage bolt. I had to stack it up with a couple washers that fit. I was trying to get 1/4 inch, but unfortunately, I could only find clamping knobs for 5/16. And clamping knobs are these things right here. These are how it's going to get secured on. Kind of like that. All right, now I've got my bolts through the end. I had to put a couple washers on there to make it nice and flush. One with a bigger opening in it, and then another much larger one, to make sure it went over the rails here. And there's my clamping knob under there, and it's just working out real nice. And there we go. It turned out that a 2-inch bolt was the correct call for this one. And it was really tough to get through at first. It only pokes out a little bit. Then you have to put on the clamping knob and crank it down. But, as it wears in, it's going to be a lot easier. So there you go. And let's see, this thing is nice and sturdy. This is rock solid already. But I'm still going to put the bushings in here and then put some bolts through and finish it off. And as of right now, I can probably go ahead and get a tablecloth on this and make sure that's working good. And I could just use it like this for this weekend and just put... And this is it with the tablecloth on. Just finished off with the tablecloth. So there you go. And keep in mind, I've got some things underneath it. It's all full. I just threw the tablecloth over the top. Put binder clips down the back like so and like so. 3 binder clips across the back. Pulled this around, pulled the tablecloth around and binder clipped it on the sides. And, I've got an open back right here. Eventually I'll have a table skirt around it. But as for, gets me going right now, and I don't have to haul an extra table to the wedding. See, normally I'd haul my, for the ceremony, I would have to, haul that table out there, put a tablecloth on it, and that and all the ceremony equipment on my secondary cart. Now with this, and then after you get all set up, you have to put the cart somewhere. So I've had this table, and I've had this clunky cart behind me, all covered up with stuff on it. Now I can just roll this whole thing out there. Yes, I do have to haul that extra tabletop, but when I unload at the venue, that tabletop will go on, all the ceremonial equipment will go underneath, and I'll just roll it out there. Throw my tablecloth on, do my setup, and all the casing and everything will just go right underneath there. And if I absolutely have to, I can clip another tablecloth along the back if that's visible, so people won't see that stuff. Anyway, there you go. Neil Smith, Dandy DJ, and Photo Booth making a tabletop for the rock and roller cart. That's steady, rock and roller steady. Don't forget to check out my book, The Wedding DJ Bible, at weddingdjbible.com, or you can find it on Amazon in paperback, ebook, and audiobook format, and also my new book, Pick a Perfect Wedding DJ. It's in ebook and paperback. You stay dandy now.